Today's trade recap is a little different just with the beginning. I almost did forget to add this in, but here's just the live trade I had taken. And then once this finishes, which is about like 2 minutes long, I'll end up getting into the trade recap part. So yeah, here you can enjoy the live footage of the trade I took today, and I'll see you guys in the trade recap. Welcome to today's aftermarket trade recap. Going to try to quickly go over today's trade. Hopefully keep it short. No guarantees though. But yeah, just before we go over the setup, let me just switch over to NQ really quickly. Kind of go over the daily outlook. So coming in today, I was bullish. That's just because we had this 4-hour high up here, inside this huge liquidity void that we had already taken out on ES, and ES has been pushing through it, and NQ has been slowly lagging behind. And yet, it is an SMT and quite a large time frame SMT, but there's been a lot of divergences in price recently between ES and NQ. And usually, when that happens, from what I noticed in the past, the confluence of SMTs, I wouldn't say so much on like a smaller time frame, but definitely on like a larger scale time frame, start to become less less high probability is the word. There we go. But yeah, most of the time always works, but SMTs on a large time frame when there's a lot of divergences, that's one thing I notice is they definitely become less high probability. And yeah, so the in the morning session we definitely were bullish. As soon as we opened up, price did start delivering higher, and I was looking around this point for a potential short, but I did not end up taking it just because of, yeah, we had this large move up, but then we started chopping around. Didn't want to get involved in chop, and I also didn't like the close on the inverse fair value gap we had made. Too close to being where my break even point would have been. And but yeah, it was not a terrible setup, but not too much to talk about on that because I did not end up taking that. And then got back on during the charts around lunch session, about like 10-15 minutes before PM session. Notice that we had left this high, almost taking out the significant high. And since we didn't, that's when I wanted to see us rebalance into discount of the range and potentially get a setup, which is exactly what I ended up taking on. As we had once PM session had opened, we ended up creating a 1 hour fair value gap, which we tapped into discount. And then, yeah, so that gets us into the trade. Basically, the confluences for this SMT, which again, not, super high probable as always. But it was just also the fact that we're holding inside of a 1 hour, tapped into discount, we had 3 sets of equal highs. That was also one of the major things. And yeah, just really wanting to, just very confident on the draw higher. Now, I definitely was not confident on the PM session high, or the PM session high, but just again confident on the draw being higher. And so, but just because of how price action has been with slow and choppy moves sometimes, I just wanted to play it safe, and for the risk to reward, just targeting just this 5 minute high was good enough for me. So that's what I personally wanted to see. Now, I will say I almost did take this 2 minute inversion here. Now, the one reason I didn't take this was honestly, I will say, kind of lucky. Just slightly hesitated on it, but it was also because of the fact that the break even point would have been so close to my entry. And like I said, I wasn't super confident on it. So if I'm not super confident, I don't want to take it. And yeah, I would end up getting stopped out. Now, once we had came down, now we had a significant high, as well as all the other factors I'd mentioned. This gave me a little more confidence, and so ended up having the 1 minute. As soon as we inverse, that is where I entered, and that's where now I will go on to MNQ, as I did enter for 5 micros on this. Let me go back and replay this. Oh, I actually had it on the wrong thing. That's why. Yeah, I was trying to do this earlier, and this is a like second time recording pretty much. So, hold on, I'm trying to see. That's not where we got the inverse. Okay, now I'm just lost. All right, there we go. So yeah, and then end up risking about 9 points on this. It was 8.75, and then again targeting this high for about 35 points, even though it's a little not correlated with MNQ. And yeah, this was about a 1 to 4 risk to reward. So again, even though with price action being not so high probability, this setup was looking probable, as well as the risk to reward. I was like, I gotta take this. So entered here, was risking about 87 points, and then take profit was around 350. And yeah, I'll just let this play out here. So price was not looking terrible. Started having moves up. Now I will say on NQ, we were leaving these equal lows, which is what I did not like. And then why can't I pause? Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, we were leaving these equal lows on NQ, which I was not super, or I was just not liking. But we did sweep it, and then did not get a close below it. Ended up coming down again. Did not get a close. Then price started heavily moving up, taking out my break even point. Now this is where I was risk free. I'll just move it to here. And yeah, I mean, we started moving up and got very close, about 9 points away from taking my final take profit. So that is what was a little disappointing on today, is the fact that I did get stopped out in profit, which was about here, I believe. Yeah, it was about there, just under this low. And that is because saw this move down. We did not take out the low just yet. And I just was not super confident on the fact that at this point we were going to take out that high anymore. I mean, still hoping, but I really wanted to closely trail and not let the profits get away. And it's also too because I wanted to see us tap into this 1 minute, which we didn't even do, and get a reaction. And the one thing I forgot to mention earlier is the equal highs that we had taken out was also the creation of a 15 minute and a 5 minute. So yeah, like I mean, it was, there was technically like indicators showing me to take profit there, but I wanted to see if we could potentially inverse it and go to the high. And yeah, so didn't get that. I think we also end up get geez, I cannot talk today. I think we also did end up getting a 5 minute divergence, or like, you know, a bigger time frame divergence on price. So once I had also figured that out, that is when I had really started to trail. And then after this, yeah, straight stopped out in profit. So, yeah, I mean, again, even if it was a loss, I still have to be happy, okay with the geez, I have to be okay with the outcome. But it is just unfortunate because of how I knew it wasn't super probable, but the risk reward on this was very great or very good, and the profit for this, it just would have been a pretty big day for only 5 micros. It would have been good for the account, yada yada yada. But either way, I took a win. I made money. I gotta be okay with that. And yeah, just be okay with that fact that I don't really think there's anything else I could have done besides, it was good trailing. Because if I didn't trail close, let's say I would have kept it even lower, would have made less money, and even if I kept at break even, would have got stopped out at break even. And yeah, so that is pretty much it for today. Of course, not as short as I wanted to keep it. But yeah, so still a few more days left in the week. Hopefully, I can end the few more days of the week off with a banger. But that's it for today, and I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow, or I don't even know what day it is, to be honest. I think tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, either Thursday or Friday. So, peace out.